Anyway, God, I don't want to talk about this. Alec thinks that he can get work again. Laria says that they're finally free to make decisions, and Carmen has a birthday.
Yeah, this was the worst episode yet. Okay, so guys, this is the last episode of our journey.
You comment, just talk about Lauren's, the
Don't
color of
talk
her
about my
teeth.
teeth.
Color, yes, talk about the color of her teeth and talk about the size of my ass.
Bravo breakdown.
So we're going to get into the episode. We're going to try to be as positive as possible and energetic because you guys deserve it. And thank you guys so much for tuning into this journey. We're still trying to figure out what to do next. Please comment in the comments if you have a strong desire for us to cover a show. Next Generation NYC on Bravo with like Gia Giudice and Brooks Marks and like a whole fun cast of Bravo youngsters. I mean, we don't know
Nepo
if they'll return or not.
babies.
Yeah, it's like the Nepo baby. It's like Muppet
Bravo
babies,
Nepo babies.
but for Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the kids. So we could do that. We could do Miami season 7. Real Housewives of Miami is coming out in 3 weeks. And Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is having a great season 2, Michelle.
I haven't seen it yet, but oh my gosh,
it's so good.
Wait,
okay. And then the one thing is, we're sorry, we do not care about Meghan Markle enough to watch the show. We're so
I like
sorry.
her.
We don't know her.
We do.
So please comment below whatever's commented the most. We'll do it as long as
as long as it's nice to us.
Yes, don't make us watch like 90 Day
Don't be mean to us. Please don't talk about our appearance. Honestly, women talking about other women's appearance is the grossest thing.
Yeah, I could do a whole nother podcast on the insidious
and I already tell Lauren how gross she is sometimes, to like.
And I really leaned in. I'm trying to do like a Phyllis Diller type.
Yeah, and I was like, fix yourself up, sweetie. Smile a little bit more and put some rouge on your face.
No, if anything, you know me, I'm like oppositional defiant disorder. I want to go full hag now.
Yeah, so
and I think our students appreciate going full hag.
Okay, well,
I think we've got some hags in the.
I know, and
45. So this last episode is You're My 30 Rock. So it's the last day of camp, and it's the last episode of the Baldwins. Alec hopes that they're like, so what kind of summer do you hope your children had? And Alec has his usual anthropological, from miles away through a telescope kind of parenting. And he's like, I hope they had a very interesting summer.
I think it was interesting. It's like, yeah, because you had a murder trial at the beginning. Like, what are you talking about? But then they had camp, and we did meet Fleur.
Yeah, there was definitely highs and lows.
Lots of pizza on the ground.
And then, they're getting the kids and to go to camp, and it's the usual like bedlam and cacophony, and the kids being like,
because there's all. I don't want to go, and I don't want to share my chips.
And then Hilaria's like, sometimes I've got to turn my brain off a little bit to deal with them. I mean, I'm still listening.
Honestly, that's the most relatable she's ever been. Honestly, like that is so true.
And that's honest. She's completely checked out all the time.
You have to fucking check yourself out. Otherwise, you're just like...
You'll wreck yourself out.
By the way, if you're always checked in as a parent, that's not true. Like, there are times that you're just like, fine, we're just gonna let you're just watching like movies. It's like, fuck it. Like, you need a break sometimes.
Exactly.
And she can do that. She has nannies.
And she clearly takes a break because she lets Alec drive them to camp. And the whole time I'm like,
he never gets to drive. Do you notice that he does not get to drive?
We've talked about that. We're like, we think she took his license away. But I guess maybe they like just got the shot of him driving, and then they.
Because he's never
driving the cruise out and wants to do a switcheroo.
Even like date nights and stuff they go on, she drives, even though she drinks at dinner and stuff. Like, she's still driving,
and she can't parallel park. I don't know.
No.
I think maybe it's driving at night for him.
I don't know. I've seen him drive during the day, like when they went to the therapist and stuff. He was driving. He was in the passenger
car full
seat.
of kids buckling and unbuckling themselves, and Alec at the wheel. I was like, this is a nightmare.
Terrifying. But they are finally free, is what we find out from.
They're finally free. So they are soon headed back to New York. And we have.
If that's where we're going to end up, I don't even know.
Maybe it will be Vermont. Maybe it will be.
Well, it's like, tell your nannies that you are going back to the apartment, though, because that's where they're expecting.
Yes,
and the animals.
Yeah, it's like, it's like they want that to be a cliffhanger. They think we're that invested. Like, they're like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
like
next season, people can't wait to tune in to see if we'll move to Vermont or not." I'm like,
yeah, like, we know it's not gonna be, back to LA where Kim Basinger lives, so
yes,
relax.
exactly. We know wherever it is, it's gonna be thousands of miles away from Alec's,
My
ex-wife and his child.
ex-wife.
Okay, so then Hilaria wants to teach Alec yoga, and we learn he's had 2 hip replacements or 2
Okay,
hip surgery?
2 hip surgeries, and, because we also find out from Ilaria, she feels best mentally when she's like, it worked out that day, which, like, is fine. Like, I agree with
Also,
that.
very much what we were talking about
Well,
earlier. I mean,
yeah.
she's saying it in a normal way where it's like, "It's great to move your body
When
30
it
minutes a
is good,
day."
and it is good to move.
That is good, yeah.
I also personally feel better, like, when I've
Same.
worked out for, like, 10 or, like, 15. I'm not crazy about working out.
Yeah.
I just do it probably 3 or 4 times a week, not a day.
A day.
And I
She
like
does
it.
it 3
Like,
or 4 times
I
a
mean, I
day.
also, like, I have a job where I sit a lot, so it is just good for me to get up
It's
and
good
move.
to move your body, yeah.
So what she says about, like,
What
moving your
she's saying
body is
there is
fine.
healthy,
It's
yeah.
healthy, and somebody wrote that for her. And then we get to see a montage of her running, and then also just randomly doing lots of handstands around her house.
Yes.
And then also Alec
Classic.
just watching
Classic her.
her run on a treadmill while he's in the same gym and sweaty and very uncomfortable.
He's, like, on a rowing machine just, like, sitting.
He's like, "My hot wife." And then, okay, this is the crazy thing, is that we find out about, like, the time that he lost, like, 30 or 40 pounds.
I can't believe they left this in.
I cannot okay, like,
It makes me
if you
think the
think
editors, they're on our
that
side.
my eating disorder and relationship with my mom was dark, what got Alec Baldwin to lose 30 pounds was Woody Allen, and they left that in the episode
And
when he
Hilaria's
talks.
like, "It wasn't because of Woody, it wasn't because of Woody."
And then
Alec's like, "No, it's
Alex,
because of
like,
Woody."
and he's like, "I'm not only going to talk about it, I'm going to do my impression of." And he, like, they're on a first name base. It's not like I did a Woody Allen film that I had to lose weight for. You could have also just said, like, I was in the movie Blue Jasmine, and I had to, I was asked to lose weight for the role. You didn't even have to mention Woody Allen. But
I'm
then
guessing they're like best friends. I'm
I
guessing
think they're
Woody
very
was the first person who
close.
reached out after. That would be
Yeah.
after
Oh,
Rust,
yeah.
you
And like
know.
when they talk about, like, he's been offered roles, I bet it's in a week.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But anyway, we
Or Louis
learned that
CK, one
he
of the two.
lost like 30 pounds, who was also like very bigly
And with Woody Allen,
influenced
yeah,
by
yeah.
Woody Allen. Anyway, that's why he lost 30 pounds.
And
He's
dyed
gained
his
it all back,
hair.
dyed his
But I
hair.
also I actually do
He
kind of believe
stopped
what
eating
Hilaria is
potatoes.
saying is because she was like, "Well, I think you did it because you had like a hot new girlfriend," because he did start dyeing his hair before that. Because I remember
Yeah.
the last season of 30 Rock, they call it the barbecue sauce. It looked like shit. Like, it drives me crazy
There's
that he
something
dyed
weird.
light brown like that.
Yeah.
Because he
It
did
looks
it
like
himself.
paint. Yeah.
He says he did it himself.
Insane.
It's like, dude, you go to the barbershop get them to do it. Don't, like,
Yeah,
use
you
the
show up
Clairol
sweaty.
men's.
You show up sweaty to the barbershop every day with like all of your kids. Like, have them fix you up.
Yeah, it's crazy that he DIY'd it, but I'm so glad I got confirmation because that always drives me crazy in the last season of 30 Rock when he suddenly decides to start just fermenting his hair like light red brown, and you can see like the dye spots. It's like a
It's
total Giuliani job. Like, he's
it's
sweating
a
it
Woody
off.
Allen.
It's Woody Allen's influence.
Yes. Ugh, can you imagine?
No. Well, actually, no. We did just imagine probably the whole scene. I mean, he's probably going to be in season 2.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Oh my god! If Soon Lee shows up, it was, what's her name? Soon Yi. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like Taylor Armstrong. Enough.
So then we hear about Alec's questionable parenting. Well, I don't know if it's that questionable. He just he lets them watch like adult movies, Carmen was watching Working Moms at 9, which I think she means Working Girl. Working Moms is a Canadian sitcom.
Yeah, so that's fine. Working Girl is a different type
great. Yeah,
it's a great, yeah. It's
all you see is Melanie Griffith and like her.
He wasn't watching. They weren't, the kids weren't
percent.
sitting watching Basic Instinct.
Yeah, and then she saw like Jean-Luc Godard's Insatiable at 6. It's more like they must have been bored out of their minds a lot of the time because Alec makes them watch. He's like Tony Soprano making them watch.
And he's crying over,
Yeah, like, oh
dead
my God,
people.
Godard.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
genius. I shook his hand
I
once.
shook his hand, and oh my God, you hear about Kathleen Turner. It's a whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, we're going to Kathleen. And so then it's almost we learn it's almost Carmen's 11th birthday, and this episode is a real celebration of Carmen in the insidious way where I do think they are trying to launch her as
her influencer career.
AGG influencer. Bella, what's the Hamlin girls? Delilah Rose.
Delilah and Amelia. Amelia's having a
think
very big career right now.
she is.
Yeah, she's having a huge. She's like.
Is she the one who like shaved her
She
eyebrows?
like shaved her eyebrows.
Gabriette?
She looks just like Gabriette, and they did even like they did a Marc Jacobs ad together.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay,
it's
I like that, women supporting women.
Yeah, and they're dressed exactly the same, and they look exactly the same, and it's like
who wore it better?
Yeah, and I think maybe the song of place is like anything you can do, I can do better, something like that. But it's
that's kind of camp.
It's very good. It's very good.
I love Marc Jacobs. I'm sorry, I love him.
I'm sorry, like we love a man in a skirt.
He's so hot. And I just think he's a genius too. Is he problematic? No.
Let's talk about back to Carmen and San Diego.
Carmen is she's such a solid soul, and I really do think, like, in the Baldwin's defense, I do think she's ready. I do think she's
oh my God, she's a star
in this episode. She's the favored child. She's
the star
the only one they love.
Well, and then also like when they were showing like videos of her when she was like 3 years old, like doing Trump impressions with Alec when he was like doing it for SNL. The girl's a star. Okay. She's a star. It is interesting that she's not going the route of like, do you want to be in movies? Do you want to be on TV?
That's kind of not the way anymore.
But it's like she's gonna be she's gonna be selling a
career
to be an influencer. And, exactly. Even at 11.
And also, it's like she spends so much time with her mom, and that's what her mom's training her for is to be like a little baby goop.
And oh my God, she's what Apple was supposed to be.
Yes. And
we didn't get that with Apple.
Apple was too British, too British, debutante, too vegan. Whereas Carmen, she wants.
She'll really get in there, and she's already doing it. We already know about how she's bleaching her brother's teeth and stuff, and he's like 2. Like
and she also
we could use her.
We could on it. Yes, I need a Carmen.
I need Carmen to come and brush my teeth.
Where in the world is Carmen
San Diego? Yeah, we need her to bring her charcoal toothpaste here, and we also need her Flor's sister to do our nails.
Exactly. Also, we learned that the way that we've seen that Hilaria is pretty much like parenting and stage momming all of the younger kids with all of these goop concoctions and like telling the baby like your skin looks like shit, you need a mask. And then we also learned that they are angry and terrified of her in this episode when Lulu says so Hilaria's like all the youngest kids are finally going to school, everyone but the baby, they'll all be in
God school. Yeah, we still never learned baby's name. We're on the last we don't know her name,
although she's grown up to be a full toddler.
She's a full toddler. Yeah, no, she's speaking in full sentences and I think being potty trained, but we don't know her name.
Still don't know her name. And Hilaria's like to the girl, like one of the twins who's going to school, Lulu, are you excited to start school? And Carmen's like, yeah, we can meet all your fake friends. And Lulu
oh my God
goes, Carmen, you're a bitch. And then they all start laughing. Like
oh my God, because those Baldwin kids, they love to curse. They're
love
very good at it,
and they love to lash out at Mama Carmen.
They're big, like they're influenced from like George Carlin. 7 Things You Can't Say on TV.
Yes,
and then they
Alec showed them that.
Oh my God, yeah. Right after they finished watching Working Girl, they watched George Carlin specials, and they had to watch old
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
Yeah, they're very influenced by the fearless truth tellers of comedy.
Don
Bill
Rickles.
Hicks.
Yeah.
So then Alec, I'm so angry that the show did this. I almost stopped watching at this point. Like I'm so furious. So the next scene is Alec. We built this up for 8 episodes. Alec doesn't want to go back to acting. Will he go back to acting? We made every single guest star be like, Alec, please come back to acting. So then instead of like a big buildup or a big scene or something that tips him over so that he decides, he goes,
yeah.
So actually I'm kind of thinking I'm going back to acting. I'm just going to find the right project. And then it's just flash. I'm so furious.
It is really hard to find a really good, like, I want to do something interesting. It's like, you cannot go back into acting because nobody wants to hire you because no studio can afford the insurance.
But yes, I mean, clearly this has all been like a, a facade, and it's been so stupid, but it's like, but you guys committed to this, and then you're going to crap out in the last hour and him like, oh, I'm so tortured, I can't decide.
He's a tortured artist.
Do it. And I'm, what the?
But we did learn this episode. Ilaria is a jock. And Alec is just a theater kid. And that's why he can't do the rowing machine.
She's like so obsessed with like kind of like humiliating him.
Oh,
she's
God,
like,
no.
age does matter, and he's like an old, disgusting,
I bet that like
nerd dork. And
he's like
he played football, I think, all through. Yeah, he's totally a cuck.
He's totally a cuck.
They get off on like, she's so.
Well, we find out where they get off on. That's the other part of it.
Yeah.
Also, we do find out Carmen doesn't want to go to school, and she hates that it's like against the law for her to not be going to school. She doesn't want to go to school. She hates it, and she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yes, and they all she always is the one reason that they run late when going back to school, because they let her do whatever she wants.
I was like, maybe she's late because she's the only one left in the house, and like no one is just like,
don't help her out. You just let her hang out there.
She just gets to be in the bathroom by herself,
flipping
looking at herself.
Yeah,
it's like, why don't you go get her? You're still her parent. She's still 10.
Yeah,
it's like she's actually still 10.
Yes, you could have her do her makeup in the car,
and you can be like, we have to go now. We have to go, and tell her what to do. Like, we have to go to school.
But she is like the third parent, so they really don't have any right to.
They don't have any right. She's the one who's making babies breakfast every day.
Yeah.
Baby, like baby gorgeous.
Baby gorgeous. And if any of the other ones go into like influencing,
you can't go in there during
Carmen's
hour.
Carmen to thank. Yeah, exactly.
And you can't go to the bathroom when it's Carmen's hour either.
Yeah, she's got. Well, I'm sure they've got plenty of bathrooms. So,
maybe they don't know how many.
That's true. They don't know. Yeah, they lost track a long time ago. We learned that Carmen is such a star that she lit the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Plaza.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is
that's the entitlement you need.
A star lighting a star.
A star lighting a star.
Star lighting a star. That's major news.
Yeah, it's like a fake button that you press, and then like the electrician.
She's not an electrician.
She didn't know. I mean, she was a baby.
Know. She doesn't like she had that instinct. She doesn't know how it works.
Yeah,
but she had
instinct.
The killer instinct of like. Because she thought about, and her dad probably walked her through like, how am I going to press this button? Because you don't just press it. This is a big honor.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big honor.
Yeah,
he's the one who's I'd go to that tree lighting.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, my God.
And, and so it's like, then they have to light it all up because she pressed the button, and it's like the illusion of it. And like, while he's saying this story, Carmen's like, don't make me.
Oh my God! Don't make me blush, Dad.
It's so crazy. She gets so much attention from them.
And she's always annoyed by them.
Yeah. But I'm happy that like at least she gets attention. That does make me.
Somebody has to in that house.
Yeah, exactly. They do. They are really invested in her, and I'll give them that as.
And then his other kid shows up with balloons.
Yes.
His page child.
So she comes back, going,
Emily,
somebody had a birthday.
It's very like eyes. Like clown coded. Like she's just like holding the balloons and she's like, hi, children.
Yeah, it's like thousands of dollars of balloons. This like, sleeper agent that's been like hypnotized by Alec into being his third daughter.
She's like been like told and paid to do like what he wanted Ireland to do.
She's like Ireland's.
Why can't my real daughter show up with balloons for my kids that I love?
She's so busy, raising her child and being therapy because of how much I fucked her up.
Because of how much I fucking hate her mom. The good thing about Emily, Kim Basinger, not her mom, and that's where she's. That's how she's got a leg up on his actual child who has been hurt and traumatized many years by his behavior.
But I really seems like she turned out okay. Unlike Emily, I'm worried about SOS.
Emily, I'm really worried about.
Emily, girl, if you're here, come on the podcast, we can talk it out.
Get off of the Word documents. Put
Get
let
off
the
of the
balloons
Word
fly
document.
away, get off of Word.
Girl, you could do better. Be Kelly. You've been through so much. Like you having this on your resume, you could be Kelly Ripa's
You
assistant.
could be
There's
Kelly
so many people.
Bensimone's assistant.
Dude, there's so many people in the Hamptons who are nightmares who you could it would be
Andy
a less
Cohen,
emotionally demanding
Jerry
job. Yes.
Seinfeld.
Oh, yes. You could be making, carrot brownies with Jessica Seinfeld.
Oh
Like
my
that's
God.
gonna be a much
She
easier
could be
job.
Goop's assistant.
She could. You are ready, girl.
You are Goop level. Like
Reach
you are
for the
ready.
stars. If you
Reach for
fall
the
short,
stars.
you may land on a
Yeah, because you did reach for the stars and you ended up with Alec. So
Yeah, you
really
can do
try
better.
now. You can do
Yeah,
better.
you can do better.
Because he's not going to be able to pay you for much longer.
Exactly. So then we talk about Alec talked to they're on the boat. They're having a boat date just to show they have a boat.
Trigger warning. We didn't have that earlier in the episode, and I don't think we needed a trigger warning for anything we've said so far. But we're gonna need a trigger warning here for when we talk about the boat.
The boat.
The boat.
So yeah,
Alec has a boat.
Alec comes from Long Island, which is a very nautical culture.
Yes, we love learning about culture from Ilaria, the queen of understanding culture so deeply that it totally takes over every part of her being. She becomes the culture.
She becomes the culture, and the Long Island culture is one with the sea.
It's one with the sea. Yeah, that's what we know about. But it's like, okay, like.
So I thought it was like cops and firefighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she means the Hamptons, which we learned from Evan. They're very,
Well, yeah. She's talking about the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Which is they're nautical people.
They're nautical people for sure. Lots of, boat shoes.
Boat shoes, khakis. No socks.
No socks. So then she's spraying at him with sunscreen, and I watched this with my sister's wife, and like her spraying him with sunscreen. Even Morgan, who doesn't watch, she was like, "Oh my God, he's like a child too. He's like the 10th child, where he's like, oh, I don't want it."
It's yucky. Oh my God. Okay, quick sidebar. But my daughter, when we put sunscreen on her, she calls it sun cream because she watches so much Peppa Pig, and that's what they say.
Oh yeah, because it's British.
She'll be like, "Mommy, I need sun cream," and I'm not correcting her because I think it's cute.
It's so cute.
Sorry, why don't you cancel me for that?
No, yeah. But also, if she wants a cheese toasty, you're not going to tell her it's a grilled cheese.
She doesn't want a cheese toasty. But if that bitch ever asks me for Marmite, I'm done.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it. It's disgusting. Sorry, don't come for me.
Especially if you have a texture aversion. I mean, that is.
She doesn't eat Marmite. I don't even know where to get it. Amazon. Okay, let's get to what happens on this boat.
Okay, so then, and then also I just want to. My sister's wife also does believe from this boat that Hilaria did get the first ever implant lift, experimental surgery, which is my theory that
it is the way they are.
The way they are strapped, it does seem like there's been kind of a clothespin.
Well, and I'm also just like, I don't know how her back is not constantly in pain because she's so tiny.
Yeah.
But she's got great core strength because she is a jock.
I can't believe she still can do handstands without tipping over.
It's pretty impressive. She did them while she was pregnant. And by the way, don't do that.
Very dangerous.
Please don't do that. That is incredible, especially if you're several months along.
Right. Yeah. Right. I think she was like 9 months.
Okay. So they need to take time for themselves. So they've decided to go on Alec's boat. He's driving the boat. And then we find out, I guess there's like for people who are not from nautical culture and don't know, there's like a AAA service, but for people who have boats, very much out of Lauren and I's like tax brackets.
I don't even pay for AAA.
So I don't even know it's Xevo or something.
I've almost died so many times.
Anyway, so we find out like they needed this like AAA service at some point early on in their relationship when he was still her boyfriend. And God, I wish I was still your boyfriend, is what he says to Hilaria. And we find out while they were waiting for this person to come help them in their time of need, they fucked in this boat, and they were just like, Malaria, we were on the floor. Yeah,
we were stargazing, but it wasn't dark yet. We were practicing.
Yeah, so they were just doing that, and like it's not like a yacht or anything. Like it's just like a regular like motorboat. Yeah, it's nice, but it's nice. There's no like doors,
and also like the the way it's set up, it's like
can't imagine.
I think she had to be.
Do you think this is what caused his first hip replacement? Probably fucking on that little boat.
She had to be what's it called, cowgirl. I think that's the only way they do it.
That's the only way.
Yeah. I think period. That's
maybe reverse though, girl. With those hips, those hips don't lie.
They don't lie.
Hips don't lie. And if you don't have good hips, you're not doing dips into Hilaria.
Yeah, it's a cliche for a reason, folks.
Yeah, that's a cliche.
And so then Alec would do a talking head. Alec talked to Kathleen Turner.
Oh boy,
when he
and
first
we get
started
an
dating
impression.
Hilaria. She was also divorced, and he says she just got divorced, and he just gotten divorced, and she was like, "What do you want to get back to? Do you want to marry someone someday?" And she goes, "This is actually honey, I love Kathleen.
Yeah, she's great.
Honey, I like being alone. I like the second the key hits the door. I love knowing no one else is
home. Yeah,
that is like it's very like the Eartha Kitt. Like I wish we had it on camera because it's like very the Eartha Kitt. Like what would I need a man for?
What do I need a man for? Or like Cher said that too. She's like, yeah, men are the coolest, but like, men are great. Men are the coolest, but
for your bagels.
Yeah, I don't need a man. I am a man.
Boys.
I am the rich man. I am my own man. I am my own. I'm a rich man. Whoopi Goldberg also said something.
I love Whoopi.
She's like, I don't want people in my house, is what she said about being married.
But Alex said, he's like, I'm the opposite. I love knowing that there's going to be 50 people when I walk in. It's like, but also you live on the top floor. So kind of bullshit.
Yeah. And we find out that he is married to the hottest woman, sexiest woman, the hottest mommy alive.
And while he's getting, this was really disgusting. So he's getting like turned on saying that, and then they talk about like, oh, you're so hot. I wish I could have taken you to prom. And then he's like, when I went to prom, you were a fetus. And she's like, I was a concept. And he was like, you were an idea. Your parents were in college. I was like, this is so great. It reminded me of that episode of Sorry, Louie, where like the girl's like, oh my gosh, you were alive when you could smoke on planes. Like they get off on how he's so old and she's so young.
Yeah, and that show was great. It's such high art because it was in black and white, and so that's how you can tell. It's much like Clerks that way. The movie Clerks, also very high art.
It signifies the
so like leaving this stuff in is like, what did they take out? Do you know what I mean? Like, what were they like, this is too far for TLC?
I mean, nothing good, like
what they left in the Woody Allen helped me lose weight.
I think they're too here's what I think. Here's my theory, my optimistic theory. They are obviously like Alec wouldn't sign on unless he had a big element of creative control, right? And probably Hilaria too. So the edit, I think they try to give us glimpses, which clearly you and I are really picking up on, excavating. We're grateful for them, editors.
We're great excavators.
But they also have to please them, So it's like they also are like, I think this is something kind of horrifying they can leave in that actually they like that. They're like, they kind of like look at what
we're talking about it, honey.
Yeah. So, but I think next season, because there's no rest trial, they're gonna have to really John and Kate plus 8 it up. They're the editors and the production team, y'all. You gotta turn on them. If it's the last season, leave it all out in the field. And they kind of need this show anyway. Alex like addicted to telling his boring stories on camera
and doing his impressions of famous people.
You have to make them look real. You have to take away a little bit of the creative control next season. Glad you split the difference this season. It was almost enough for a season. Next season, don't let me down. We know you're the network that does 90 Day Fiance. Okay, we know that you can really make some.
They're the network that brings us. They brought us like, here comes Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo Boo. They brought us toddlers and tiaras. That is TLC. Okay.
Yes. So never forget
where you came from.
Okay. I've never in my life been disappointed in a girl like this. No, actually, I think they did a good job. But we're counting on you for next season. Don't let us down. Yeah. Because this episode sucked. Okay, so then the producer asked Hilaria, how did you create a normal summer for your kids during the Rust trial? Hilaria's like, I just created a bubble for them, with a 10 to 20%.
We're very close.
TV crew, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And then of course
a murder trial.
We got to end on a Alec and Hilaria date. Hilaria is in her business tuxedo, flash dance, eating the lobster scene, drag. Michele, you might be too young for that reference, actually. So then Hilaria is like, we eat out all the time, and that's why our marriage is strong. And it's like,
but she's not going to share her bread on their date night. It's my bread.
It's my bread. Oh, well, actually, I really love this moment. Like more moments like this, where Hilaria's like, there's so many good people out there who want good for us. And Alec goes, are you a good person? And then Hilaria there's a moment like, are we about to get real here? And she goes, why are you asking me that? And he's like,
No.
give me the rest of your bread if you're a good person, you know? And I'm like, I kind of like the moments like that where we see how they really fight because you know how dirty and fucked.
Well, it's like, I wonder how they really, yeah, I bet it's dirty because we know what he's capable of. Like, nobody is buying the whole, like, he's like just a
He's nice
good,
now.
he just gets to be, yeah, he's nice now. And because we know, like, we've heard recordings of how he spoke to his daughter when she was still like 10. And not Carmen, but Ireland.
Yeah.
But also I think like him being like working helps a lot with that because Ilaria doesn't have to be around him. And they also have multiple homes. And I think that helps a lot too. So he's like working on a sitcom like 30 Rock. He's staying in New York and you know, it's like she gets to be away from him, but now they're not away from each other. And he seems to like that, or at least pretends to, because nobody wants to hire him. He genuinely seems to like Ilaria, and I think she cannot handle him or stand him.
I agree with that, but I think it's because of he's happy wherever cameras are around. That's home. I think he's happy. She's probably never seen him this, you know, engaged and happy because there's cameras around.
Do you think next season that she'll make him like, or won't let him wear like athletic shorts every scene? He's only in athletic shorts.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, button-ups. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing. But they both seem like they've been styled by someone for this. Badly.
Not Marc Jacobs.
Not Marc Jacobs. Oh, honey. He would never.
Yeah, they haven't. They were wearing no archival Marc Jacobs.
And then we have Carmen calling them 18 times at dinner, and they still call her back.
FaceTiming. Yeah, and then like Ilaria's like, oh my God, what's going on with Carmen? She's saying it's an emergency. And then
we
she
never hear the emergency.
Yeah, and she's like, and then she FaceTimes Carmen, who has left her urgent messages while they're gone 18 times, and she's like, look, Carmen, there's a camera crew.
Yeah, and so it's like don't tell if it's something like, you know, the baby fell out the window,
or like, okay, if my daughter has called me 18 times, like if I'm
camera,
well, if I'm away, like,
yeah,
just as a parent, like I have my phone with me in case if there is an emergency.
Yeah. I was just confused by this whole thing because they never
they don't reveal it.
I lean towards there was an emergency.
But then they say she does it all the time.
Yeah,
but then they don't tell us why.
At first I thought maybe it was that just because she's just trying to flex her alpha dominance, where it's like if anyone else called, any of the other kids called,
if the other baby has FaceTime, if baby FaceTimed, we'd be like,
FaceTime would be like, sorry baby, talk to you later.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, put your mom on the phone, and then she'd hand it to Carmen.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that the fact that they were kind of doing this snow job of like, oh, this is what she does, and that they didn't tell us what it was, like the reveal, like if it was something small, we would see it on. If it was like, I can't find your nail polish, then it's like we would have seen that. The fact that we didn't makes me think like
it is odd.
It was something embarrassing.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
So then, Alec tells the Sean Connery story again. Doesn't cry this time, but talks about how he was so revered. And Hilaria's like, "That's you now. Oh, you're the king on set. Yes. Everyone worships.
He's the king, and he also, he played James Bond famously, and."
Well, in terms of like a big part of his legacy now is violence and domestic situation, like Sean Connery after a bad PR move,
and sitcoms.
And then also, okay, this is what really pissed me off too. So then we go to another talking head of them, and the lighting is so crazy. It's clearly reshoots. I'm like, y'all did fucking reshoots to add in just like them being like, it's the end of the summer. I'm like, well, you needed more footage on that? Sorry, you guys missed on this one, production and editors. Okay, so then kids are all in school. Oh yeah, and then the end is a blooper reel.
Oh my God.
Which is not, this pissed me off too. It was not bloopers. It was just like stuff Alex said that they cut.
It was parenting.
Yeah. It was like, like him asking the camera crew for a drink. I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice.
It's funny because you're an alcoholic.
Yes. And then after like, it's like him saying 30 Rock lines. Like, it's after 6. What am I, a farmer? I'm like, that's not a blooper. He's just quoting one of his old lines. Quoting the Sandlot.
He's just doing auditions to get back in like Hollywood's good graces. He's just doing self-tapes.
Yes, it's like none of this is. I mean, a couple things were like him like driving a golf cart in the shot.
Sizzle reel.
It was not bloopers. This whole episode, sorry. Season overall, B. This episode, D-. The last shot, though, I did appreciate for us. It was one of the cats, the James Corden cat, going of loneliness, peeking in and going bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, that's the end of this season.
That's the end
We
of my
love taking the
life.
journey with you guys. We love talking with you guys about this nutty couple. We'll when her book comes out, we'll cover that and then cover the.
We're gonna go to a book signing.
Oh my god, I wish. Oh my gosh, I hope she goes to Book People in Austin. We can make a road trip. She won't though. And then just tell us what next. Otherwise, we're gonna do the Valley and then make a judgment call.
Did you watch? Okay, but did you watch?
I am up to date on the Valley. Oh, not the newest one.
Oh my god, you have to.
I know. I'm like, thank God they're saying that all this is really what happened with Jason. Like, he's the one who takes off his wedding ring. I'm like, this is so crazy. That,
no, anyway, I mean, spoiler alert. Yeah, but like last night's episode, like Kristen's like, I'm gonna confront him because she's mad at him, and then he's like, I don't know what she's gonna say about my marriage, and then he's like relieved. He's like, oh, you're only gonna say that I took off my wedding ring? Like, what did you think she was gonna say?
Oh my gosh,
there's no way he can stand Janet. By the way, Jason is a hunk.
He's such a mystery to me.
He has an android, which is not hunky, but slick.
He's
such a good-looking person.
I think he's got to be. He wanted to be on TV, right? He's one of those ones.
He actually has a job. He's an attorney.
Yeah, but I think he has to want. I don't know, because it's like he's got to be like a Raquel. I feel like where it's like. You don't seem like you want to be on TV at all, but like everything you do kind of shows me that you are someone who wants to be positioned, get higher, get famous, even though you don't think act like that.
Like Janet's just dragging him into it though, because she's such a fangirl.
You know, it feels like both of them are playing Survivor instead of being on like Real Housewives.
I will just
they're
tell
playing a great game, but I'm like,
Lala and Sheena show up. Lala tries to
mad
pretend she's all mad at Jesse. And it's stupid. And then Sheena just shows up in the scene, never says a word, and is just staring. But she just wants to be on camera. God, and guess what? She's way more iconic than anything Lala did in that episode. Anyway, I have to be done because I have a fucking meeting in a little bit.
We love you guys. Let us know what to do next. Gonna cover the Valley, and at least get caught up on that. Hopefully that catches on. If not, we'll do what you guys tell us to. We love you. Bye-bye, pepinos.
Be nice to us.
Can't wait for season 2. Yeah, don't yell.
Sweating.
Oh,